It does.
Really does make it, and that's what I don't like about managing. That's why I hire property managers, because I don't like what that brings out of me. The fact that, I'm having a hard time appreciating the fact that there is a death in your family, because why are you telling me that? You're just telling me that because you don't have my money for rent.
And I heard a tip, and I thought this is a really good way to do it. And I've talked away, I've asked or used it before. If someone said, my mother passed, and I said, well, where are the arrangements being held? I'd like to send an arrangement, like send some flowers.
Yeah.
And if they can actually, if they sent it to you, then they passed. You send flowers.
And then, or you show yourself as someone who actually cares.
You sent flowers. They're going to tell their friends and family about it. And maybe it's flowers. Maybe it's a gift card, or maybe they were asking for something for the house, and you accommodate them. We've had cases before where somebody told us, someone who's passed away, we're gonna have a hard time, getting rent this month because we got to pay for a funeral. And then we'll talk a little more. Well, what can we do? Could we do half a month this month? But it's time to renew the lease. How's the income going to be affected? You want to stay? You want to move to something, one of our cheaper properties, smaller properties, or you want to stay where you are? And we redo the lease at a little higher amount. So we're making up for the amount that was lost during their transition time where the income's lower. And other times there's been cases where they're going to have life insurance money and they're able to pay for a funeral, and they say, well, hey, could we prepay the rent for the next 5-6 months? Sure. Yeah, we'll give you, work with you on that, and or do that, or we can apply it for the next, year worth of rent. You pay half rent is half the amount of rent for the next 12 months rather than nothing for 6 months and then the full amount for 6 months. So you see what works with their budget. Try to be firm but fair.
Because in your tenant, because in your mind, so just kind of put it in the mind of someone who is just living their life, like, my father had passed away and I still paid the mortgage that month. Like, it did not stop the mortgage from being paid. It created some other type of expenses that I incurred to help and send money back home to get some things addressed. And I totally get that. However, it did not stop the rent from being paid. Most emergencies do not stop your rent from being paid. I mean, now, are there exceptions to every rule? Of course there's some exceptions. Of course there's going to be issues. If there is a natural disaster, then that's going to create some issues. However, most of the excuses are just not, are not rising up to the level of you shouldn't have the rent when it's due. Because most people like yourself, and you're living your life and you pay your mortgage every month, things happen in our lives, but very few things can stop us from paying the mortgage. It would have to be something like, oh, okay, well, hey, it would have to be something really big. And so I really think that speaks volumes to some of the nasty tricks. So is that emotional blackmail? Is that more red flag or yellow flag?
I'd say it's yellow.
Yeah. That, a little bit on the yellow flag that can turn easily into a red flag if you're not careful, right?
Speaking about flags, we got a green flag.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And so are you ready to flip your first house or finally flip one the right way? Then join us at Flip Savvy, Louisville's top real estate flipping workshop, led by yours truly. I am an award-winning realtor that sold over 200 homes in the local Louisville area. And I teach you how to find, flip properties for maximum profit using our methodology and frame. And visit flipsavvycourse.com. That's flipsavvycourse.com to learn about the next class that's coming up today.